waves crash on the beach of an endless sea. In them you hear a voice, a beckoning lure you have heard so many times before. It is the song of the horizon. She calls to you. She sings of endless wonders and untold horrors, of golden promises and dire warnings, and you know her song. It has always been there. Listen, can you hear it? The wind is in your favor, the tide is rising, the sea is yours for the taking, and your ship awaits. Fair winds and following seas, brave mariner. May fortune find you when the horizon calls. Ahoy and welcome everybody. Welcome to Horizon's Call. We are back. We are in the high seas again, the endless seas of Damaris, and we're ready to go. I'm Derek. I use he, him pronouns. I am your GM for this game. I'm joined as always by these very lovely people who I will have introduce themselves and say a little bit about their characters. Before we get to any of that, I do want to say a couple of things up front. First of all, I'm going to try to do this a little more frequently. You can find all of Sword and Key stuff if you are looking for discount codes, if you are looking for any open applications, which one just closed, sorry about it. We are any charitable endeavors that we are working on, any philanthropic campaigns that we particularly have. You can find all of that at beacons.ai/sword and key. You can also join our Discord there and find all of our other social medias and sites and podcasts and shows and all that kind of stuff. So check out beacons.ai/sword and key for all of your sword and key needs. Merch coming soon. Ish. I don't know. I'm not going to promise that. Other thing is that if you enjoy the stories in particular, in Pacific, ocean pun, that we do here on Horizon's Call, you can always tip this cast and crew, all of whom are the exact same people that you see right here, cast and crew. They wear a lot of hats, through Pally. Pally.gg is a wonderful tool that we use here to, as Sword and Key does not yet break even when it comes to the anything that we receive from Twitch or anywhere else. We don't really pay our players out of our pockets because I only make so much money dealing with horrible children, and I need to feed myself. So we instead look to you instead of going through like Twitch bits and bobs and subscriptions and all that kind of stuff, where Twitch takes a mighty cut out of it. We ask that you look to Pally.gg. Anything that you are generous and able, both of those qualities being important together, to tip gets evenly distributed amongst these lovely folks based on shares. And you can impact our game. You can give crits, you can give advantages, you can give complications called black spots, and potentially more in the near future. So keep that in mind. If you find yourself just, enjoying what we do, maybe you take a nap during this, maybe our sonorous voices lull you off to dreamland where you get to dream about being a pirate mermaid or something. I don't know your deal. But if that's the case and you're like, well, I feel like I should give them $1, hey, that dollar gets split 5 ways. That's fine. That's okay. It's better than nothing. And honestly, again, willing and able, both those things being important together. The economy everywhere sucks. Please take care of yourself first and foremost. All that said, let's go around and have these other people say a little bit about themselves. So, Mare, if you don't mind starting us out.
Hey, hi, I'm Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I am playing Acacia, who uses she, her pronouns. Your Soul Knife Rogue, Star Druid, Centaur in a nautical campaign who's just so fucking glad to be out of that dungeon.
Yeah. Dungeon delves in a nautical campaign. Who'd have thunk? Next up, Eva.
Hey, I would just like to take a moment to say thank you for not having it just be like an underwater cave system, which I realized is like a horror too far. Oh, I can see you doing the math. Oh no. Okay, well, hi, it's me, Eva. Weenie and I both share she, her pronouns, but she is a sea elf, alchemical artificer / bard. No bard subclass. We'll see. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I just really want a jack of all trades, I'm going to be honest. It's a very
We will see. That is part of the game. We will all see. And yeah, I mean, underwater caverns, I have already stated.
No,
it is
not
canon.
caverns. Caverns are fine. It's the cave systems.
Okay. Drow in this world exist, and where do you think the mind flayers live?
They live in their homes, and it is rude to go into someone else's home uninvited.
Says the treasure hunter. Moving on. Mikyl.
Hi, fam. I'm Mikyl, he, him pronouns. I play Proximus, also he, him pronouns. He is your Triton, Shadow Sorcerer, Oath of the Guardian, Paladin, which is a homebrew Horizons Call Oath. And I'm here
Sure
with my
are.
friends.
Special thank you to Mikyl, as always, for the wonderful artwork that you see on your screen. You can see his artwork in a number of other wonderful places, including our Discord, which I mentioned before, but also his Instagram. Mikyl, not spelled the way you think, Mikyl, and then Sandoval, Sandoval. Type all that in, and you get to see all of his cool stuff lined up there in little neat squares where you get to like all of it and make him feel good about what he does, because you should, because it's amazing. So again, special thank you to Mikyl. Last but not least, Kaila.
Hi, hello, my name is Kaila. I use she, her pronouns. I play our Siren Storm Sorcerer Scarlet Shores, who also uses she, her pronouns, and I have the recap today, but we're gonna let Derek do the things, unless
Absolutely.
there's more things I don't remember.
I have no more things. Kaila,
Okay.
the floor is yours.
I don't want the
Recap
floor.
away. Yes, there
floor
is
is
no
lava.
floor. An abyss below you. Nothing but an endless pit.
Who lets me stream? Derek does. Derek can
Yeah.
even let me stream.
Yeah,
If you have a problem with me, please consult with him.
I'm an enabler.
So I have already boasted about the fact that I have the easiest recap of the season so far, because we literally finished fighting the general and his knights and his mages. I think there was only one mage left. The general went down pretty quickly, honestly, when we started all ganging up on him. Little Jeffrey did capture Ogden into the mirror to keep him safe because he was looking a little rough. Little Jeffrey skirted away with 1 hit point though, so thankfully the knights had really bad aim. When everything was said and done, we did not kill everyone. We did not kill everyone. What they found in the maze of a hell of a vault, that's a different story, and we don't know what happened to them. We might have heard some screaming. It's fine. When everything was said and done, we of course looted the bodies, because that's of course what we do. We let Ogden out of the mirror. And while it was not the warmest of reunions, one individual had a debt to settle. And Acacia gave him a good clocking in the face. Respectfully, it was honestly deserved. Then we figured out how we could have actually circumnavigated the entire vault. It's fine. We had fun. It's about the memories we make along the way, not the destination or something. I don't know. We got up. We learned that Ogden does not think highly of himself with his password, which honestly, that was kind of a given. We were able to stealth our way back through the caves, and we have finally returned to, I made this joke in the Discord. I'm going to make it again. We're returning back to our 3 ships. The Redemption, Cross's Mercy, and our relationship.
Those are the 3, the Holy Trinity.
It's a good joke.
It was a good hilarious sometimes.
Thank you, Kaila. Please
You're
enjoy
welcome.
that point of inspiration. Yes, back to the high seas you return.
Oh, I did forget one thing.
Please.
Acacia did send a sending to her father and
She did.
said, basically, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And none of us can talk about the vaults, honestly.
That's true. I can't remember if we actually said this on stream or not. So to cover a couple of things, actually, let's do this one. Yeah. Cover a couple of things about the vault. You all were cursed that you will never be able to actually tell anybody anything factual about it, which is why all of Curio's little notes that he left were the opposites of what he was trying to hint at. Should you ever try to explain or write down the vault itself, your drawings will always come out inaccurate. Your descriptions will always be either fictitious or massively blown out of proportion. You will never be able to help anyone anyone actually traverse that vault. Yeah, Curio was able to circumvent everything by listening in on Ogden's password, a password that no one would ever think that Ogden would make, which was just criticisms about himself. So yes, you find yourselves on the high seas once again, having returned to your ships. A long rest, which I'm sure you all very much needed, has gone by, and it is dawn as the ships have taken to the seas once again, their sails unfurled. What, I should ask, is your heading?
I do have a quick question about the
Yes,
curse.
please. Yeah.
I know it's like everything, you can't say anything truth about it, and you're basically trying to keep people from going there.
Mhm.
So even though it's technically true, am I able to say it fucking sucks, don't do it?
That was my same question.
I think I think you are able to, like,
long as it's not
give a
specifics.
warning about it. Yeah. But you can't be like, okay, so like make sure you don't step on the sticky carpet, and then there's gonna be some elemental swords. You're gonna be like, hey, so there's a giant chimera down there that only speaks French and has
What's French?
Yeah, that's what everyone's going to say, like, oh, okay, yeah,
Like,
okay,
even though it's technically true, I think saying, like, if I can say it fucking sucks, don't do it, was literally the worst experience of my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weirdly, Abyssal and French are very close. Just the Demogorgons down there. Parlez-vous. Anyway, yes, having returned to Cross's Mercy and the Redemption, you find yourselves just off the coast of Shacklebreak, just to the west. And the last we were heading anywhere was the sunken dwarven kingdom of Halvaruk, but you have a new passenger on board, so I don't know if that necessarily changes anything.
What do people think when the previous Cross's Mercy crew see?
Yeah, so actually, let's go ahead and back things up a little bit.
Can't wait for this.
Yeah, there's some.
What ship do you drop off Ogden on?
I think the Mercy. I think we landed on the Mercy.
Yeah, we were going to the Mercy.
Okay. Great. So Ogden's like big old dragon turtle feet just plop onto the deck, just like the thud of him bowsering onto the deck, and he's mostly fine. He just kind of puffs his chest up a little bit and goes walking right for the captain's quarters. He's kind of like giving little nods to the sailors, like, "Oh, good to see you, Ben. Good to see you, Christopher. Keep it shipshape, right?" Not their names. He is heading right for, again, captain's quarters, and just goes ahead and opens the door and goes, "Oh, well."
Doesn't open those doors. He does not open those doors.
You locked
Seems
your
like
doors.
you've been taking
I do
mighty
lock-
good care of
inherently,
this
yes.
ship. He's just jostling the handle. I think it's time I turned in. Proper time for me to get a good night's rest.
Wait, you
In
lock
the
it
captain's
Find you a
quarters.
cot
From your
somewhere, but it's
boyfriend?
not going to be there.
Marcus can't go in?
Marcus has a key, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's just locked like whenever neither of you
yeah,
are in
it's
there?
just locked.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say Marcus, like, Scarlet lands, comes up to Scarlet. You're definitely a little beat up, and there's, a little bit of worry as he's wiping a little bit of the blood off of your face. I'm extremely glad to see you after 2 days. I thought this was just going to be a scouting thing.
It was only 2 days. It felt like 6 weeks.
It felt the same to me. I'm almost more surprised to see that you
We're successful?
well, success is one thing. I'm surprised you didn't kill him, and I mean that in the nicest way.
The
Thought
goal
about
was
it.
to save him, not to kill him. So if we would have killed him, it kind of would have been counterproductive to the entire thing.
Fair, but also, we both met him. What is he trying to get in? Why is he trying to get into your room?
I don't know. This is going to be fun. I did tell him that I took the ship, but I don't think it's really connected a little.
Would you like to handle this? Would you like me to handle this?
Oh, please be my guest. I would like to see this play out.
It's like straightens the jacket. Ogden, wonderful to see you. What can I assist you with? Oh, Mako. Marco.
Marcus.
Whatever. I would like. I'm very tired. I am. Oh, it has been a long few months where I have been just imprisoned, terribly imprisoned, locked away by those dastardly Imperials, and I'm looking for something soft to rest Michelle on. I said Michelle, not Michelle. Is that your name? No. Anyway, captain's quarters. Captain, the ship having belonged to me most recently. I figured you wouldn't mind if I happened to rest in a place of comfort. Ogden, might I offer you instead a lovely hammock? Standard issue, maybe a couple of them. Maybe we can like double layer. Just the spikes on the shell might be a bit of an issue. You're not going in there. You know what? It's been a minute. Let's walk and talk. And he puts like an arm around and like shoots a glance over at you, Scarlet. And he's just like,
Oh, I'm lurking behind.
okay. So anyway, Ogden, a lot has changed in those months, as you mentioned. One of those big changes is that this is no longer the Bloodhound. It is no longer a privateer vessel. It is no longer sailing under Brindle Kane, nor is it technically sailing under myself. There's been a change of hands, and you no longer have any say here. That is to say that you have no say anywhere. You gave up your throne. We all saw it. So, I get the need for respect, but it seems like you might need to earn it again. So, I understand you're tired. Please enjoy a shift of sleep, in which case, if you are going to stay aboard this vessel, I expect to see you with a mop in 4 hours. It just pats the shell. Good talk. Ogden's just kind of left there, just like jaw dropped a little bit. Turns around, just kind of like straightens out the eye patch a little bit. Well, I'll be good and fucked. Fair enough. And he goes trotting down below deck, just like he is as wide as the little like the deck hole itself to get below decks. And
I'm
as
sorry,
last
what was
you
that
see
technical term? I didn't
a
quite
deck
catch
hole.
It.
A deck
Okay.
hole.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can call it a glory hole. I don't think that's
I'm
the
pretty
term.
sure that is not. No.
That
No,
is
that
a
is a
glass
for glass
making
blowing.
term.
That's
Yeah.
a
It's
mining
a glass
term as
blower's
well.
term. You're absolutely right. Silly of me.
Glass blowing, mining, only two definitions.
Yeah.
Flip
Yep.
that.
Yeah. Yes. Traveling down the stairs to the lower decks, you do not see him. Yes. So that is I think where we pick up the next day, having you all gotten now your long rest, unless there's anything else you've all wanted to do, but. Now aboard your ships, respectively. Connery welcoming Proximus back. The second he sees you, he basically just like throws you into your quarters, and he's like, "You're no good if you're gonna die."
You are very right, Captain. Don't be too rough. I'm a little bruised up.
He just like he's aggressively gentle with you. I don't know how else, like there's a bit of a show to it.
He
where
throws you over the shoulder, but he's like really.
he's trying to
gentle
grab
about
you,
it.
but like because he's used to like cat people, so he's trying to grab you by the scruff, but there's no scruff.
Nothing there.
Yeah, it's all just fish scales. Okay.
Oh no,
Um,
Proxy has like dolphin skin.
I was
Gross.
gonna say catfish skin,
Yeah.
so that's dolphin's better.
Blubbery. Yeah. All right, we're not going to ask about Proximus's blowhole. I presume that Jeffrey is mended,
Yes.
yes. So now with the next day, where are we going? What are we doing?
Unless there's a chance I can use this accidental dirty 20 intimidation I just rolled. Winnie is going to.
You know what? Who are you intimidating, Winnie? Just whoever's nearby. A passing fish.
Winnie is so tired and grumpy from like that she almost died. Like
Just on her way below decks, like Honey's passing by, and she
Yeah.
scares the shit out of Honey.
just out of my way. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I didn't mean it. That was rude.
What's? Oh man, there's a nature video where it's like, oh, this most deadly creature. Listen to its horrible war cry, and it's like,
Yeah.
Have you ever heard kiwi birds screech?
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
That's a thing of nightmares.
Yeah.
Just
I
FYI,
mean-
if anyone needs nightmare fuel.
Have you heard deer and rabbits scream?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Every night
Also terrifying.
That is not true.
we've heard deer scream here, and it's like, it's when the coyotes are out there, and then even the coyotes stop, and they're like, Jesus.
Intimidation check for me, for Winnie. Where are we going with that?
Oh, I was just kidding. I figured that I would head over to the Mercy. Well, like we pulled up anchor and like started to head out, right? Like we're not hanging out in a
But
like
that's
2 mile
totally up
radius.
to you guys. I mean, if you didn't have a heading, it could vary, because the ships were anchored so that you could find them
Yeah.
again.
Before we go to sleep, like let's maybe chart a course away from the island at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because
would.
you were a decent ways away from the island, because you were outside of the patrol
Yeah,
range.
But also,
I would like turn to Scarlet before like we all split off. Do you want me to chart a course to Halvaruk still?
I mean, we don't have any new information unless we're having this conversation not as a group, which is also entirely possible.
Yeah. Captain?
So it's just between you two?
Oh no, it would have probably been like I think we all landed on the Mercy.
Yeah.
So
we
we
did,
definitely
then
have done
we
this
split it.
before
Okay.
before y'all went over.
Cause like we don't have any new interesting information, right? Like unless we're gonna stage a coup and like get Ogden his island back right now.
Oh hell no.
But we could just drag him to Halvaruk and discuss plans and stuff on the way there. All 6 months it's gonna take, or whatever.
It is going to take 6 months.
I just
No.
picked a number.
Oh.
No, it's like
West of Taiwan, right, Derek? For the coordinates.
That is correct. Yes, I believe we were talking about.
I'm sorry, I just pinged. I think.
Yes.
Oh
I
yeah, I
think it-
saw it.
Okay.
Yes, I believe it's this little cross section right there.
It'll take about about a month to get there at normal
Yeah.
speed.
Month and a half. We're bad at not stopping places, to be honest.
There's only
We
a couple
purposely
small
stop
ones.
at places to get the information.
Yes.
It's true.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was shorthand for stopping at places, getting waylaid by giant oozes, etc., etc. I'm just saying maybe we should cushion a little bit of time in there.
Fair point.
How is
We're
your
not gonna
ooze?
get. We're not gonna. I'll start charting a course to Halvaruk. If we're one day isn't gonna change a course that much, it'll be fine. Let's just get away from the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're
Shackle
not saving Shackle Break in a day with
Oh,
our two
absolutely
ships.
not.
There's not happening. And I particularly don't want to be near there because I don't want anybody of the privateers to come find us.
Yeah.
Barely
gonna be
anything
wondering-
left to save, if you ask me. And Ogden's just like behind all of you. Sorry, I heard someone say captain, and my ears perked.
Mm-hmm.
This
Wait.
guy.
You're
Ogden,
in
do
charge.
you realize who the captain of this ship is?
Well, looking around as far as qualifications go, I have to assume it's me.
This captain's going to throw you overboard if you make that mistake again.
Fine. Just, you can't blame an old pirate for trying.
Do you need to have another respect conversation with my first mate, or...
Listen, I respect you fine, I respect your position. Just also, if it could go a little bit both ways, I ran a pirate kingdom for well over 50 years. I am still, technically, a pirate king. And
A pirate king of nothing.
Hey, Ogden, you know there's a really comfortable bed in the brig, right?
And also, like,
She is being sarcastic. It is not very comfortable at all.
no, it's sort of
Nah.
like a plank with a dirty cloth on it. But you know, like, the reason you're here, aside from just like rescuing people being a good thing to do, is like because you are knowledgeable, right? Like, no one, like, statistically here, you were not rescued because you're a friend to all. I'm not saying it's necessarily transactional. I'm just saying, like,
Vicious mockery.
you're here for a reason. Oh no, I accidentally cast vicious mockery.
He dies!
Oh no! Little Jeffrey, turn off dissonant whispers.
Well, I assumed you all saved my life, however little you all value it, because I'm still a member of the Pirate Council of Kings. And Queens, I suppose.
No.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely.
But I would
why
like to
we
know
did
more
it.
about that one.
Yeah,
I don't remember why we decided to, because I wasn't really for it.
It was my
I am a
decision.
symbol.
Ah, that's right.
Oh.
We could have let you been Martha.
I mean,
That's
it
why
was
they
a
didn't kill you in the first place.
group agreement, but yeah, I don't remember who's currently on the council.
See, do we know about this council?
I feel like we've heard about it.
Oh.
Oh,
Scarlet might have heard Eula bring it up a couple of times, but it was always derogatorily referenced. It was always like the another letter arrived at the council's meeting, and they're asking for her to attend as she's a member, and she would literally blow her nose on it and like tear it into pieces.
Oh, I love that.
seems so uncomfortable.
After you're done with
petty.
whatever ship duties you need to handle, you and I can have a conversation about the council.
Very well, but at the same time, do appreciate that I've served many years. I've talked to lots of pirates, and I have a level of experience when it comes to these here endless seas. So, if you have questions,
I have a whole ship of people with experience also.
fine.
2
I'm a
ships.
damn resource. That's all I'm saying.
I understand that.
I'm confused. So, you were in charge of Shackle Break, right? Like, you were,
Aye.
like, but I don't remember you being introduced as, like, King Ogden. Like, what was your, like, official title there?
I was Lord of Shacklebreak. The kings and queens thing it's not an official title. It's
Yeah.
mostly it's we hold a place on the pirate council as a king, as someone who has earned
You know,
a
that's
level of
not how
respect.
councils work, right?
It does for pirates.
Pirates don't give a shit about the rules. Winnie.
It's not. I'm
do.
not really a member of
Sort
royalty.
of.
I don't hold an army. I don't hold an official title, and I don't wear a feckin' crown. But when
I've
it comes
seen your
to
hat. Like, you do seem like the type to sort of be involved with titles, if you know what I mean. And like, you wanted to like claim the whole captain title. So like, I'm trying to meet you where you're at. Like, what are your expectations, and how can we manage those?
You're so diplomatic, Winnie, and I.
this is some real therapeutic language you're using right here. Listen, I really care about what your goals are and how your behaviors are going to reflect achieving those goals.
Have you been reading Constance's therapy books?
Just in
Motivational
between
interviewing.
all her like dwarven history stuff, she's just
There's
like,
no such
I
thing
need
as
a break.
bad behavior. There's just inappropriate behavior for the setting that we're in. Can we really just like? I really want to just match your energy, meet you where you're at, and I think that we can come to some sort of like, okay. So, I listen. My goals here are just to stay alive. You will have saved my life at a certain point. I suppose I owe you all for that. I am, like I said, a resource. I am a ship with no port until you all offer me one. I am also more than happy should you try to maroon me on an island to swim off and start my life anew. Assuming that I don't get eaten along the way.
To be clear, you're not a hostage. Like, that kind of makes it sound like we're just dragging you around from like.
Okay. First of all, there's the point of not a hostage, but also on a ship. Are you going to give me a boat of my own to go off on?
Yeah, what are you gonna give us for it? Equal
Okay.
exchange.
So there's, okay, maybe indentured servitude is closer then?
Closer. I'm just
If
saying,
you
like,
are
if
a
you
part
want.
of the crew, thus you will be paid,
Yeah.
compensated.
Who doesn't pay their crew? Just assholes.
Inherently not an asshole. I've
I'm
been
going
paying
to
this
work
crew
for
since I
you
took the
all.
ship.
Just trying to offer also that I have a level of, make you aware of the resources that you have.
We
And
will
I
keep
am
it in
aware of
mind.
it, and we will chat later.
We are tired. We went through 10 floors to save your ass and multiple fights. We're going to sleep and dealing with this another day.
Yeah, time's gone really wibbly wobbly here, so I'm gonna go to bed, not threaten Honey, and come back in the morning refreshed, a whole new Winnie. No, I'm not gonna come back. We just decided what we're doing. I'll be back later.
Yeah, come back later.
Peace.
Okay.
I'm going to sleep.
All right.
After
Well, after all of those multiversal fractures just occurred, where there's a world where Winnie did intimidate Honey, there's a world where Winnie did come back. Winnie
You
is
have no
the
idea what
Loki of our world.
multiverse Winnie has been up to. Shit's wild.
God, there's like, oh man, the apocalypse.
That sounds like a
Winnie-
one-shot idea.
Oops,
Like a
all
mechanical
Winnies.
arm and a mechanical eye, and she's just got pouches everywhere. She's hanging out with Deadpool.
No one's ever seen
Winnie
her
in the
feet.
multiverse of madness. Yeah.
There's my cable reference.
Hey, quick question, Derek.
Yeah.
Did Ogden ever find out that his quote unquote piece of the astrolabe got stolen at any point?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, he was he knew it had been stolen when everyone kind of showed up and was asking for it. He just didn't want anyone else to know that it was stolen, which is why when the party
it.
found out, he sent a bunch of a bunch of soldiers, essentially sailors, to keep them quiet about it.
Got it. So this was stuff that's what the party was asking about before I joined the crew. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
All right. So continuing to Helferwork then, yes.
Yes, please. And
Okay.
is that accurate? It's like a week per square, approximately, right?
Correct. 10 days per square. So we were talking about it being
And a-
right
Yeah, I should have said
here? A 10-day.
one of our weeks.
Not
Two,
the standard
Damaris.
7.
four,
Damaris
Damaris
week.
weeks, I'm assuming, which is
Yeah.
10 days.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, so just about 50 days. So just about a month and a half. Month and
Cool.
2/3.
Fucking
All
crushed
right.
it.
We will have some more time at sea. How would you all like to spend this time? Is there anywhere that we are looking to stop along the way? Anything that we are looking to train on, work on, anything like that on our way to Hulveruk?
Is there anything interesting? Who holds these little islands?
Oh gosh, that's such a good question. And if I had my iPad, I sure could tell you.
Well, let me
let's
rephrase.
see.
Is there anything of
Name,
interest?
demographic,
Yeah. Hey,
square
what's,
footage.
What's their chief export and import? And
again, great questions.
shipping lanes.
Do we need to make
let's-
commentary while you go grab your iPad?
Yeah.
do
Not
that.
necessarily, because I'm also seeing that we might have some minor tech issues, so it might not be the worst idea to take a quick break. Would you all be chill with that?
I'm fine.
I
with
can
that.
get my dinner.
Yeah.
Let's
That'd
take
be
a.
great.
Apologize for taking an early break, folks. We're gonna take
Also,
just like
mirror
a
your
quick.
camera.
Yeah, I know.
We're
I'll
gonna
do
take
it
like a
right
quick 5, resolve some issues, and we will be back shortly. So
Type 5,
stick
everyone,
around.
Type 5.
Type 5. Type
Type
5.
Not what that means.
What's the deal? Yeah, take care of yourselves. We'll be back. Hi, everybody. I should say avast, ahoy, all that. Welcome back. We're going to get back into our Horizons Call story. Thanks for allowing us a little bit of tech time. Mara's joining us. Mara's just have a little mantra real quick and being respectful about some folks who might not like to see or hear that. But hey, we always encourage people to be human beings here, so that's what comes first and foremost. Okay. Eva, you were asking about some of the islands to the north along your travel. Why don't you give me a history check?
Oh, I can do that. I can do that 9 times.
You just have to do it once?
Probably only want it once. Now that
Yeah,
I think
please.
about it.
Yeah, not even with advantage. Like,
Yeah, just that's a 23.
oh, okay. All right. So yes, Winnie, you would have a pretty good idea about a lot of these islands. This little grouping of 3 just to the northeast are the Lesser Keys. That is in clockwise order from the top left. Low Stake, Trader Scary, and Black Sail Watch. That's typically like very pirate friendly. Like it's typically just been like where Shacklebreak is kind of like pirate paradise. This is like the next stop where pirates can sell goods. It's not as defensible as Shacklebreak was, and not as like not as much infrastructure. Like this is just kind of the wild lands where pirates could trade their goods, dock their ships, gamble, just really have a
Flying
debaucherous time. Next to that, the next biggest island to the east right here is Mutineer's Bounty, another larger pirate island. To the north right here is Liar's Vow. And then the islands, so you have Nios, which is off to the west, in addition to just south of that, Langval, Sagramore, which is right next to Liar's Vow. This little grouping off to the east here is the north is the Black Sand Archipelago. The southeast is Coldstone Barrow, and then the most southern island is Nash's Shame. You would know that was it was a major loss for the Orc Imperial Navy when they were actually fighting the Imperials. This was originally Orc lands that were taken. And then also, one last thing that Winnie particularly would know is there is a major underwater city just right here called Anchordown, which is just about 10 days south of where you would be heading in the first place. And you know that is a place that you've heard of. I'm not sure Winnie's ever actually been, because this is pretty far outside of where, Winnie's home was. But it's a place of like eel folk, Sahuagin, not really like sea elves. It's not a sea elf city. It's kind of like a rough and tumble. It's like a Mos Eisley-esque underwater city. And that's what you got in the area.
Cool.
What I will also hand to Winnie with a check that's over 20 is you know that Shacklebreak and Soteria have been taken by Imperial orders. Karina was like in that the expanding border as well. While these have been historically pirate havens, if Shacklebreak fell, you don't have the utmost confidence in these islands still maintaining a level of non-imperialness.
Do I? No. Do we have anyone at Phoenix Landing who is like from any of these places? Like anyone who's been there recently or has been talking about it recently? Like, I guess this is like at its core like do I remember like people talking about it back on the island?
I don't necessarily think so, because you guys don't have a lot of pirates like that have come to Phoenix Landing just yet. And a lot of the pirates you think that would be in this area either might have signed privateer contracts, been killed, or have fled.
Mm-hmm.
if these islands have been taken by Imperials, because that's what happened to all the pirates that were around Shacklebreak. They, they turncoat, they died, or they fled. As far as anything else, you might have some people from Anoth who would have relatives on Black Sand Archipelago, Nash's Shame, or Coldstone Barrow, as there are a lot of orcs who still live on those islands, and there are also some orcs who live on Anoth.
Where's Ripley from?
Ripley is actually from the Northern Lands. Ripley grew up around where Athelvar kind of is, and was part of the Navy. Let's see,
Okay,
what is
so
the
not
name of
in...
that island?
Here's what I found.
No, I'm not asking you for anything, Siri. Just go away. Just... Ripley is from Lost Hope Barrow, which is right up here.
Oh, like the opposite side of the map. Okay.
Yeah, she grew up towards the end of the Orc Imperial Navy's like existence. The battle that was fought on these islands was like hundreds of years ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I know what I would like to do during most of this downtime, but if anyone else has something, go for it.
What do you want you to go ahead and start out? We'll start with you.
All right. So, Winnie would like to keep up with, if Scarlett's doing them, the elder lessons.
Yep.
And then, I don't know. If that is not something we're doing, I can fill that time doing other things. I would also like to spend time, if Ogden is just over on the Mercy, I guess I'll go over there. And I want to gossip with him. I want to talk. I want to listen to, I want to be like the favorite niece and just like, gosh, Uncle Ogden, tell me more. Tell me about the good old days. Before you were trapped in your vault by the bastard Imperials.
Okay.
Not in that voice. Winnie would use her normal voice and not call him Uncle Ogden because that's weird.
Okay. Right back around here. Michael, what would you looking to be? What would you look to be doing?
I think I would go with Winnie, actually, because I want to hear some of these stories about, especially his battle against the dragons, specifically.
All right.
Trying to gain tactics.
Anything else you wanted to work on? I know you were also working on like training sailors in blind fighting.
Right. So Dominera and I going through how the fighting forms of the Nalos with all of the warriors to do that blind fighting is as you said.
Oh. Okay. Okay. If you think of anything else,
Do I need to
please
do any? You had me do rolls for that one.
Yes,
originally, and I
we're
was-
gonna do rolls for all
Okay.
this. I just want to get a list of
But
what
yeah,
everybody's doing
that's
first.
what I'd be working on mainly.
Scarlett.
Besides talking to Ogden about the council,
Mm-hmm.
definitely doing the elder lessons.
Okay.
And at this point, Marcus probably would have joined in on those as well.
Okay.
You know, don't have to be secret anymore. It's great. And I've been thinking about this. Instead of doing the blind fighting with the rest of the crew, Scarlett would probably ask Esben to do one-on-one stuff.
Okay. So just Scarlet training for the same thing, but just one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And Acacia.
I'm also going to be doing elder
Mhm.
training and studying. I'm going to be doing the blind sight training without my dagger of blind sight. And if you're willing to let me change some of like the thematic components of this spell, I'd like to do a cast a scrying spell.
Sure.
I'd like so technically if you're a druid, I think you need to like have like a pond in like a grove or something like that. Otherwise, like a mirror or a font of
I
holy
can offer
water.
you a bathtub.
Yeah. But I'd like to make it a little more thematically appropriate. Using like a maybe not like a barrel, but like something a little nicer than a barrel. And the reflection of the stars.
Sure. Absolutely. Yes. So let's see. You can hear and see and hear a particular creature. You must make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target. Okay. All right. And
How many weeks has it been since Karina? We were super close. Maybe like a week, 2 weeks.
yes. So let's see. Looking at
That's
the
fine.
map, Karina was, yeah, I think just 2 weeks since you left Karina.
I want to take a look on Panveer.
Okay.
So I'm very familiar with the target, so -5 to the save. I do
Mhm.
have the little coin that used to belong to him that I stole from him. So
Right.
DC 17.
Okay. Let's see. I suddenly find myself diceless. That's weird. Okay. Here we go. All right. Rolled a 15 and has a
Minus
type of
9.
save is it? I'm sorry.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay. Has a
-9.
+3 to wisdom. So an 18. And then you said -9.
Yeah.
Okay. So then just 9 then.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like you are successful. So you're going to create an invisible sensor within 10 feet. Hear and see through the sensor. Sensor moves with the target. Creature can see invisible objects. Okay. Instead of targeting. Cool. All right. So
10 minutes
let's.
casting time, and I can watch for 10 minutes.
Okay. So let's see here. You on I'm guessing this is early in the journey. One of the first nights that you all have out in amongst the open seas once again, Acacia being kind of, reacquainted with the stars above, taking the time where, yeah, nicer barrel. We've established that Trosho has a pool that they moisturize in as Lokatha. Maybe Trosho can drag that out to give you a wider kind of area. Regardless, with the stars reflecting down on this clear night, and this kind of the ship sailing almost like on a sea of glass, it's perfectly stabilized, and the water almost has like this mirror like sheen to it. And as the stars reflect, you notice that they begin to swirl slightly in this water and illuminates bits of them, almost creating pictures at first, and then almost like pixels on a screen, all of the stars illuminate this picture. And it's dark at first to where you worry that the spell didn't necessarily work, until you see someone lights a match from far away. They're just kind of stoking their pipe. And as that illuminates very briefly, and you can see through the bit of like glowing tobacco in this pipe, you see that you're in a dark alley. There's a cobblestone street. The buildings are very tight here. Everything seems to be made of stone. And just further on, as the sensor kind of moves around, you see a silhouette of a small humanoid with the street lamps that are just being lit further on in this nighttime arena. And you can see from the silhouette that whoever the small person is, they are carrying a very jagged looking blade in their hand. And you watch as they tuck their hands into this kind of like cloak around them, kind of pull it about, pull the hood up, and begin to move. Not, they're not running, but very determinedly forward out of this alley, past this person who's has lit their pipe. And they move out onto the street, which has only a few people moving about. Immediately through the sensor, you can see that there are flags, flying banners, flying that you realize that you are in one of the imperial cities. These are the banners of the Nerian Empire. You're not sure exactly where in the Nerian Empire, but this is, as far as you can tell, a more established city than many you've seen. Like this has more infrastructure than Soteria ever had. This is a place that does not embrace nature in the way that Soteria ever did. This is a place that has refused nature in place of infrastructure and advancement and stone. And you follow the figure who the sensor wheels around to see Panvir's face, his eyes just slightly glowing from beneath the hood, some sort of magical eye shine, and continues to move forward, almost like looking direct. Like for a second, you almost wonder if he can see the sensor as he seems to look directly at it. But then, like the thousand-yard stare makes you realize he's looking through it. He's looking for someone, as his eyes are kind of darting back and forth now. And he continues down these cobblestone streets over a bridge that has this rushing river beneath it, and all about are these stone buildings, some of them up to 4 stories tall. There are birds cawing above. You pass by a couple of imperial guards even that are chatting to themselves, don't even seem to notice Panvir as he's walking by. You notice that as he's moving, his cloak is actually like there's no brooch. It's actually held by a fishhook. And he continues to an intersection where, very sharply, if the sensor wasn't magically connected to him, you're not sure that you would necessarily like be able to keep up. He takes this hard, sharp turn, almost like swifter than anyone you've ever seen, but about as swift as probably you can move sometimes, and takes a turn down an alley where he begins to uh, scale the side of this very regal looking building. This more, a lot of the buildings you passed by look very pedestrian, very civilian. These are the houses of common peoples. The building that he is scaling, with columns and balconies and the banners hanging by it, this is some sort of official building. This is an imperial official building that he is actually using one of the banners in this alley to scale the side of. And you can hear everything. You can hear how silently, the absence of sound as his feet land on a balcony. The very subtle click of his thieves' tools in the door, the the non-sound of the hinges that he carefully opens the door from, and as he steps into this room, which is lit by a fireplace, where in a very cozy chair, you see a human man, not dressed in any sort of armor, dressed in finery, who has an empty glass sitting on a table next to them, as they have kind of drifted off in this seating area. You can see that there is a desk. There are an assortment of papers and maps, And Panvir very carefully gathers up all of the papers on the desk and puts them into a side bag that he has.
Am I able to see what kind of papers these are?
Yeah, I think I don't think I need any sort of checks for that because you are kind of glancing at Panvir. These are maps. You can see that there are troop movements listed on there, but it's less the focus with the documents that you see are less about troops and more about supplies. This is probably somebody who's higher up in the Empire, but is more of a pencil pusher, a desk person who is managing supply lines, as far as you can tell.
I'm gonna try and
Um,
remember. I'm gonna try and catch as much as I can in that brief moment
Absolutely.
of key points.
And you can absolutely see that there's, regalia on the wall, which indicate that this probably is a person connected to the military somehow. There is a level of wealth just in this room that Panver seems to completely ignore. I mean, he could probably scurry away, some of the gold that's on the desk that he seems to completely ignore, that he could grab a gold chalice here or, any of the pieces of artwork and probably sell them for a decent price. But his eyes are just transfixed on the silhouette of this person being created by the dwindling fire in front of them. And he stalks forward ever so carefully to not let the wooden boards of the house creak beneath his diminutive feet. And he pulls his knife, and you, in those last seconds before the 10 minutes of your scrying runs out, you watch as he pulls the knife to the neck of the person and then locks eyes with the scrying eye, the invisible scrying eye, and you see him wink as the blade is drawn across the neck of the sleeping man.
Could
And
that have
at
been a
that,
true sight, Glamour?
very
Potentially.
likely, yeah, absolutely. It could have been a true sight. There could have been a see invisibility potion that he drank. There could have been a number of things that contributed to that. You saw that there was some sort of magical effect on his eyes before, and he didn't seem to mind that he was being watched in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you.
Um, all right.
What kind of wink was it?
Um, it was one of confidence. Just like, like a kind of an I see you sort of thing. Like, I know that you're there. Just a little confirmation right before,
Yeah.
he made his move.
Yeah, he doesn't know who's behind the sensor, but he sees the sensor.
Right. Okay. All right, let's see what we want to do next here. Let's do some elder lessons. So, elder lessons. Let's do winning. You are running elder lessons, is that correct?
Oh God, no. Scarlet.
Scarlet, the one who speaks
Scarlet's-
Elder, is running
That's right.
Elder
Scarlet's
lessons.
running elder lessons. I apologize. Yes. Okay.
World's worst teacher.
So let's do.
And there was one more thing that Winnie wants to do in this gap
Elder
of time. But...
lessons. Elder lessons. Let's
Elder
go.
lessons.
What's the other thing Winnie wanted to do?
Apparently she's one roll away from finishing her detect magic goggles that I forgot all about.
Okay. Why
Once
don't you go ahead and roll for your detect magic goggles?
1 over 20 roll. What am I rolling? Arcana?
Yeah, this will be Arcana.
That's a dirty 20.
That will do it. 20 or over. Okay.
I don't know who I was
so
making these for, but we have them.
You can just pass them around.
Heck yeah.
So, Winnie, these goggles, as you finalize imbuing the magic into them, you watch as the lenses kind of just like flash very briefly. And you go to pop them on and look around your laboratory. You look at Jeffrey, and everything has like this very kind of vibrant heat detection sort of like,
Yeah.
look to it. Everything, like, you're surrounded by a lot of magic. You kind of even look at yourself and you're giving off a bit of a glow yourself. You can see all the like the magic potions that like black light-esque are showing up on your hands, and you look in the mirror and you can see there's probably a potion exploded and you got like splash across your face. You see Jeffrey just absolutely just glow. He opens his mouth and it's like spotlight of magic inside. Yeah, and you have succeeded. This will effectively give whoever is using them the detect magic spell as they're using them.
Nice.
Is it? Because I guess I could check. I don't think there's like an actual goggles of detect magic item. Is it like 1 charge per day? We can also discuss it later.
Let's discuss it later. Because there are absolutely like
limits.
There's warlock invocations, I believe, that would give you just a free use of detect magic. So I'm also okay with it just kind of like being a free sort of thing. You pop the goggles on, and you might have disadvantage on other forms of perception if you're using those, but you can at least see magical things. Okay, let's do some elder lessons. So where do we set up for elder lessons? Is this in Winnie's lab? Do we have a chalkboard on the poop deck? What are we doing here?
I want to say it's like on the deck of probably the Mercy at this point. It's probably changed locations here and there, depending on other things. But I think right now it's on like one of the decks of the Mercy.
Flexibility of the school, yeah. Okay, you line up some barrels and pull Marcus away from his duties, and everybody plops down as a chalkboard is rolled out. Trosho has provided you with a chalkboard. Let's go ahead and do some elder lessons. We've done this a number of ways. So again, you can teach charismatically, you can teach with intelligence, you can teach with wisdom.
Charisma.
Right. So give me a roll with whatever ability you will be using to teach, and then Winnie and Acacia, give me a roll with whatever ability you are using to learn, whether that be intelligence, wisdom, or charisma.
I like to imagine that I'm sitting on the deck, I'm laying down, and Winnie's laying against my flank with her back against it.
Notebook.
Insight or wisdom, and also do I have advantage because I have the druidic?
You do have advantage. It's just the ability.
Wisdom.
It's not a skill. So,
Okay,
wisdom, intelligence, or charisma.
I got another 15.
Are you fucking serious?
17. Are you not paying attention today?
I'm not paying attention today. I got
You will
two
get
nat
something
ones.
thrown at you.
Oof.
I'm still exhausted from the ordeal, and I haven't been switching to my semi-nocturnal schedule very well.
Can I like flash of genius and like just look over at your notes every once in a while and be like, no, that's
It's not gonna help, Eva.
No, I feel like Acacia is like asleep. Like two nat ones is Acacia's just like in
God,
horse
ones.
mode.
I
Like
didn't
the
hear-
spine won't let her go all the way back, so she just kind of.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
God.
yeah.
If we have a small fish within grabbing distance, it's gonna get thrown at Acacia.
That's okay.
Not like
Why?
Not like
we have a
hard, but
small
hard enough.
fish in grabbing distance. Little Jeffrey's just there with his mouth open like a weird fishbowl. Oh
We're
God.
on a pirate
I feel like
ship.
Trosho just walked
Yeah,
by.
like
you just
20 feet down.
yeeted him at.
Yeah, there's a barrel of fish that get passed by, and Scarlet just throws a full fucking fish at Acacia.
Just
A small one.
I'm
Acacia's
sorry.
like,
Damn it.
Scarlet,
Scarlet,
I'm so sorry. It's not because I'm not interested. It's just I'm very tired today. I'm sorry.
We can be done.
Pretty nice out, to be honest. Ugh.
It could be a nap day.
You keep learning. I'll nap. I'm not gonna learn anything if I'm this tired. So another
we
day,
have school out
Scarlet.
on the quad. All right. Marcus also got a 15. This is his first lesson, and he's kind of gotten thrown in, and he's just kind of sitting next to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey's like, I like that one because it looks like a cloud. Marcus is like, what the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't look anything like... You're not helping.
Jeffrey's just pointing at a cloud.
Yeah.
I see this lesson is pointless today, so I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead.
He's got his
How do they
crayons
conjugate
out.
their prepositions? I don't get it.
Oh, we're gonna have to start with common, aren't we?
Like maybe while we're when we break for the day though for elder lessons, I do want to yawn and go up to Scarlet just one-on-one and be like, hey, sorry about today, but I had a thought that wanted to quickly run by you. Your whole... I know about your little glowy tattoo things, right? I'm pretty sure. The elder words all over your
Yeah.
body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
you all
Yeah.
have definitely seen those.
Okay, so at some point, if you want to take a trip to talk to an elder to see about the runes,
What do you mean take a trip to the elder?
did I not? I thought I told folks that I went with Fia to talk to some elders in the stars. Did I not mention this?
I think you did.
I think
Because
you've talked about dream walking before, but still, when you tell somebody they're going on a trip to see a proto god,
Yeah,
like I think that can still be
there's a
confusing.
difference. I
That's
do
fair,
remember
yeah.
this, like, didn't I tell you? Conversation.
Yeah, I feel like I did because I feel like
Yeah.
I think it had to be was when we were talking to Rollin at some point that came up.
Yeah.
And I think you still got the same reaction of what the fuck?
Well, because we almost went with you, I think at Red Tide, or a little after Red Tide, and then you were like, no, I'm going to sleep it off instead.
Oh, and I know, and then we did eventually also go. Didn't we all go together? Because then we also went to
Yeah.
go see
Arson Greg.
not Arson
See,
Greg.
Scarlet
Ace.
wasn't there.
Oh, that's
Ace,
true. You
yeah.
were
Marcus
there.
was there.
Ace when I went to go see Ace. So yeah, no,
Mhm.
Scarlet didn't come with us. Yeah, that's right. Maybe we can ask.
Scarlet's just done the accidental one when they were
Yeah.
drunk.
It's
was
not
the
that I'm
first one
not
time.
invested in Ace as a well-rounded NPC. Obviously they are.
Just Arson
But
Greg is the
compared
favorite.
to Arson Greg,
Arson Greg is the favorite.
constant fan favorite.
But yeah,
Very
no.
three-dimensional character Arson Greg is,
Mhm.
yes.
Fully fleshed out.
Do you
yeah.
see Derek's face? It's just let him die. Let him fade. Let him fade like a ember.
No.
Derek, you made the connection
Why won't
with
you
Marcus
forget about
and
him?
Arson Greg, you're done for now.
Oh, he's my GM insert now. Like Arson Greg is.
we get to see your full desire for Arson.
Yeah, he's just
level
me.
20.
Yeah. Oh, he has no level.
He's
no.
a beyond
You think-
ancient
Do
god
you think
that
they give
walks
levels
the...
to gods?
No.
Yes,
I
actually.
was a fool. Little Jeffrey doesn't have a level, so we're onto something.
But back to Scarlet.
Jesus.
Yeah. I forgot you weren't with us when we went to go talk to Ace and Greg and everybody.
I heard
um,
about the Arson Greg thing.
Yeah.
I actually heard about it several times for days after.
He was really cool, okay?
That's my conversations.
But at some point, if you want to take a trip with me and see if they could tell you what it all means.
I mean, I do have the rough translation from Rollin, but that, again, rough. And I didn't particularly feel like taking the entirety of my clothes off in front of him. That
Yeah.
just sounds disgusting.
Yeah. Let me know if you want to at some point. Offers open. Take as much time as you want.
Maybe once we get sailing and settled and
That's fine. I just didn't want to forget. It's been on my mind for weeks but you know, everything.
let's get Ogden settled on the ship and let's not be in immediate danger. Not that I don't think we are now, but
Can always change.
it can always change.
Forget about the floating black spot.
It's hard to when
There's
it's
like this-
right on
there's
the
like-
overlay.
There's like this weird shadow hanging above our ship. It'll go away eventually.
Yeah, I leave it at that.
Winnie, what's your proficiency bonus?
5? No,
Okay.
yeah, they're the same.
That's Jeffrey's level. He is level 5.
Maybe to you?
He's level 20 in our hearts.
In our
Yeah.
hearts. My special boy.
Clearly doesn't have plot armor.
No.
Jeffrey of the many deaths.
Jeffrey version 11.2. Bigger, better. We can rebuild him.
Again.
Technology.
Okay, so with elder lessons, I would say that Winnie, that a 15, a success. Acacia, unfortunately, with 2 ones, didn't necessarily move forward in today's lesson. That's okay. It sounds like we're gonna have just a nap day.
You
know,
also
we need
like
them
the
sometimes.
clouds.
Yeah, we're just gonna watch some. We're gonna watch some Schoolhouse Rock in the clouds.
Little Jeffrey just passes you a little crayon drawing. Like a little basic ship with some clouds and a...
Thanks, Jeffrey. Pat his little head.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think gossiping with Ogden is probably going to be last. So let's do some blind fighting training. So we'll start with Proximus and Dominera. Proximus, how do you set up blind fighting training for the cruise?
Proximus has like they have like the quarter deck, and then below, right, you have the main deck. So him and Dominera, much like in aerobics class, is facing away from them, and they are facing the back of both Dominera and Proximus as they go through the forms, so that there is no confusion as to right and left.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, I guess I mean they're blindfolded, so they really wouldn't know. So we would be calling out different forms and numbers to correlate with them. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say with them being blindfolded, that's maybe they start unblindfolded, then kind of like work that way.
Right.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. Which is going to be the first part of it.
+6. That is a nat 1.
Oof. Okay.
We're starting off great.
Dominera and you are sparring, and you were distracted by every minor noise, every creak of the ship, every seagull cawing, every time the wind shifts slightly, and she I'm gonna do a perception check for her. Is whooping your ass. Like the sailors at this point, you can hear them, not necessarily jeering, but every
Right.
time your feet are swept from beneath you, and you slam against the deck, it's a lot of oh fuck.
It's unbearable at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, you might
Oh.
lift your blindfold and see that all of them have their blindfolds off, just leaning against whatever their
Yeah.
spears or whatever are, and just
I am very off my game today.
let's give this another shot. Go ahead and give me another perception check, because we have 50 days of training here. So to say that there is
that's good.
absolute success, absolute failure in 50 days.
So
We'll
that
come
would
back
be
with the training with the
a 19.
19. Okay, we'll come back with the elder training as well. Yeah, Dominera gets you to your feet, and she goes, "You need to give a shit.
Yes,
We cannot be beneath the ocean on this one. You have to listen to everything. Pay attention." And you put the blindfold back on, and suddenly, you get this level of clarity that washes over you, and you're able to block out everything, and almost you're able to see Dominaria in a way. You're able to visualize the swoosh of this quarterstaff as it's coming right for your temple again and whip your head back. And it's defensive at first. I'm going to have her roll again. Okay. We're going to do a little sparring here. You are going to have attacks at either regular or disadvantage depending on perception checks for each attack. We're going to do just 3 each, and we'll do best of 3 between it. So, let me... There we go. So I'm going to have you go first. Go ahead and do a perception check.
Uh, 15.
Okay. 15, go ahead and roll a regular attack.
Uh, 24 to hit.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm going to have Dominaria roll. What are you practicing with? Are you guys both practicing with quarterstaffs just so this is practice, or do you and Dominaria trust each other enough to go like full bladed weapons?
I believe that we would use full bladed weapons. That's how we practiced in the Nalos. Like there is no punches pulled on this
Okay.
one.
Okay.
And then, but with everyone else, as they are teaching everyone with pole arms,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that the blind fighting is with pole arms specifically, spears, halberds.
Yeah. And the sailors have enough of like harpoons and spears, and
Right.
some of them have like long axes, but for the most part, yes, they are mostly trained in pole arms, specifically with swords as a backup. Okay, Buckness, your first hit lands like you feel a connection as your glaive, I'm presuming, hits Dominaria pretty. You hear her kind of shout out as she was not expecting that from the handing of your own ass that she was doing before. She actually goes down on your first hit. Let's do she actually rolled a 1 on her perception check. So that is 1 point for you. Let's do round 2 here.
Perception is a 21.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack with advantage.
Oh. Ooh, that is good. That is a 28.
Okay. 28. You have sensed Dominaria is on the ground. She rolled a 2 for her second perception check. So while her trident goes to strike out at you, you are able to catch it with the butt of your glaive, with the pommel of the glaive, and actually like you are inches from her neck when you take your blindfold off and realize that you have pretty handily over all these days. We can say this is the final piece of the training that you've been pushing. You pretty handily mastered blind fighting. I believe there is a feat that allows you to take blind fighting. So let me take a look into that, but that is essentially what you will have the martial ability of blind fighting here. And we will say that the crew is trained as well. As far as Elder goes, because it did occur to me that this is 50 days, Scarlet, go ahead and give me another charisma roll, and then Acacia and Winnie, go ahead and give me additional rolls as well. And yes, Acacia with advantage because of the druidic.
Using
It sounded like you had one
dice
bad
this
class.
time.
Use one of my advantages.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I got a nat 1 on one of them, but I got an 18 on the other.
Okay.
I also
There we
got
go.
a nat
22.
1, but I'm also going to
21.
use one of my advantages.
Okay.
That was a
Or
good
4 at
split.
first.
Yeah.
Paul's. That's a 10.
Okay.
I'm awake. I'm awake this time.
10, it kind of feels like Winnie's struggling a little bit with the fact that like elders both have 50 genders and no genders when it comes to the way that they define both themselves and the world and existence around them. But you were all picking it up pretty well. Marcus got a dirty 20 as well. So over the 50 days, I will say that I think with 50 days, you all can add Elder to your
Heck yeah.
language list.
I also think
Well
that,
done, crew.
now that we're like practicing a lot more, I think Acacia would practice like in conversationally with folks
Mhm.
once or throughout like the trip.
Folks as in Scarlet.
What was that?
Folks as in Scarlet, because that's the only other person who's
True. True.
Like
True.
The three of you just
plus Marcus.
yeah.
Well, and then like, oh wait, no,
This
we
sounds
didn't
like
learn it,
Simlish to
did she?
everybody else. And the crew's just
Yeah.
like,
It's kind of like you're all like almost singing to each other a little bit because we established it kind of has like a hymnal, almost choral sort of choral, not choral. It doesn't sound like, well, I guess also choral.
Oh.
Choral, a choral chorus.
So you said the four of us can add it, or
Yeah, if you, well, not Proximus
oh, right?
because
right,
he wasn't training in that, but yes, Acacia, Winnie,
Okay.
Scarlet already has it, so yes.
Marcus
would
probably
use it
needs a
over the
little
shell
bit more
phone.
time.
Yeah, Marcus is
Marcus
still
has
like,
private instructions. It's fine.
He's fine.
Oh, hey now.
He'll get there eventually.
Oh
They're
yeah,
not
good
fun.
point.
Oh, I was
Eva.
not
We can-
muted.
They're not fun, Michael.
We can do it over the shell phone. You're right, Winnie.
Yeah.
yeah, you know how sexy like language lessons are with your partner. Where it's like, why aren't you fucking getting this?
I could have made a really bad joke, but it's fine.
Yeah, well.
Gosh.
Oh. Anyway, speaking of private lessons, Scarlet, you wanted to train privately with Esben on blind fighting.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, Mayor. We all thought about. You know,
Gotta say it, I'm sorry.
it's just like training with a trumpet. It's all about the tonguing. You know.
Please don't tongue your trumpets.
You gotta, tonguing for trumpets is just as important as fingering with flutes. Okay. All the skills are important when it comes to band, and I think that the arts really aren't getting enough funding in our public school system.
Oh, look at that!
Okay.
Is it break
This
time?
this goes back to the
That
one
one time on
true
band
quotation
camp.
that everyone knows. This one
Mm.
time at band camp.
Mm-hmm.
But Eva, you are correct.
It is break time. We will come back for Scarlett's private training when we get back. Please stick around.
Fighting training.
Fighting training.
Fighting.
Fighting training. Just because it is private training doesn't mean it's. Get your minds. Get him out of that
You
gutter.
put us there.
I didn't. I take no blame. Please stick around. We'll be back in about
I'll
5,
take the
10,
blame.
15
It's
minutes.
fine.
Do the things, pet your pets, and we'll be back shortly.
Bye.
So welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Horizons Call. I hope you all had a lovely break. Maybe got yourself something to drink or snack on, petted your pets, all that fun stuff. We're going to jump right back into stuff. But real quick, before that, I just want to say real quick that if you like, maybe even love the stuff that we do here and are feeling particularly generous and able to tip this wonderful cast / crew, all of whom are the same people, you can always do so through pally.gg. Pally.gg is a wonderful tool that we use to basically show a little financial appreciation towards this cast and crew. Again, should you be willing and able, and you can also impact this game. Let's like I said, let's jump back into it. So Scarlet wanted to have some private fighting lessons with Quartermaster Esben Kimball, I believe is his full name. A grizzled human man who has served on the Mercy for quite some time. Not a talkative individual, as he has a scar around his neck from where he had been previously hanged. Scarlet at this point has communicated mostly telepathically with him, and knows that is he was hanged as a pirate at one time in his life, but death just wouldn't take. So yes, Esben is more than happy to establish a fighting scenario for you to have this blind fighting. I imagine this is going to happen at nights. So while Proximus is training on deck, um, I think you're gonna have to explain to Marcus like why you're spending like 3 to 4 hours every night
You
for
can come
several
watch. I
weeks.
don't care.
Okay. Well, he can't. Esben actually like looks at Marcus and just shakes his head and looks to you and goes, "Too fucking bright." And Esben will lead you to the lower decks, where he closes all of the porthole windows, even the like. There's not a lot down here because this is like typically most of it's below water line, but any light that could come in, he has like a single candle that's kind of burning sitting on top of one of the boxes. It's very dense in here. It's very cramped. There's, I mean, this is storage. So there's barrels everywhere, there's nets, like stuff, there's chains clanking around, and yes, it's a very kind of claustrophobic environment. And he shuts the doors that would lead to the stairs, and telepathically he communicates to you, "You want to learn to fight in the dark? I can teach you how to fight in the dark. But I'm not going to be gentle, and you're going to get hurt."
That's what we have Ripley for.
And with that, he uses his fingers and snuffs out the candle. Um,
If there's ever a time if Esben ever wanted to kill his captain, it would be now.
he does not provide you with a weapon, and you don't necessarily see that he is armed either. Um, it's you're a little unsure as to what this training actually is until you feel his fist against your cheek.
I
Uh,
technically do have dark vision.
okay. I guess you can open
Close
your
my
eyes if
eyes.
you want. Yeah, he could provide a blindfold. I forgot that you do have dark vision. So
I'll just close
blindfolds
my
are
eyes, it's
provided
fine.
any type of light. It's dark to him. Um, Go ahead and give me a perception check. We'll do a couple of these. Like I said, we'll do 3 rounds, and let's see where we end up.
Ooh. 25.
Okay. Um, how are you attacking? Are you going to, I mean, there are weapons stored down here. You could try to find a weapon. You could attack magically. You could just try to punch him. What would you like to do? His training is a lot less structured.
I feel like no weapons for now would be
Okay.
safest for both parties involved.
Mhm.
So it's
Okay.
gonna be straight hand to hand, no magic, no weapons.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an unarmed attack with advantage.
Um, Unarmed. My strength is +0. It's fine. 18.
Okay. You feel the hit land pretty solidly on you, and you do take 4 points of damage from it. This isn't going to be anything that takes you down to 0, so you don't necessarily have to calculate this. But just to show the impact, like 4 points of punching damage is pretty hefty. Um, you go to swing kick. What does your physical attack look like?
Probably swing.
Okay. You find connection. It's like right in the solar plexus, and are you like, is this just a punch, right? Like
Mhm.
you know not to tuck your thumb in. You know how to
Yeah.
properly punch. Yeah. Um, and you land a pretty good one. You hear an oof come out of him, which I think only like reinforces the visual picture you've created of the environment around you, of where Esben is. Like, you've spent enough time around people, listening and picking up on, using your senses to pick up on people by scent, by things besides sight. the sound of their voice, the way their breath moves when they move. You are, as a siren, a predator. And these predatory instincts seem to really kick in this moment, and like everything is just enhanced. Go ahead and give me another perception check.
16.
16?
I have a +8
Okay.
to my perception.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so give me another attack. This will be just a straight roll.
I do lie. I do have a +5 to my unarmed strike. That's a 16.
Okay. You go to take another strike at Esben now that you've kind of like heard his breath. You can kind of like sense where he is, but as your strike goes out, you actually feel a hand catch it, and you feel a foot against your ankle that goes to sweep at your leg and push you out, push your weight out from under you. Let's do this is one for both of you as these are contested. So go ahead and do one more roll here.
It's just straight roll.
What's perception?
Perception. Okay.
Mhm.
15.
Okay. And then this will be another straight attack roll.
18.
Okay. As you feel that foot against your ankle, tell me how you take out Esben.
Oh no.
How do you shift that to your success?
I feel like this comes into all of the more societal training that Eula had made Scarlet do with the dancing,
Mm-hmm.
and particularly being swift on feet is very important for dancing and making sure you don't step on your partner or look like a klutz and people don't want to actually dance with you at all. So between that and probably getting the upper hand off of "you didn't take me out" uses that to her advantage. And
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, it is almost a dancing position where he has your hands locked together, and then you just take the lead. You put your hand on the small of his back, swing your legs around, and use his weight against him. And with a thud, like a sack of potatoes, he hits the bottom of your ship, and you just hear a groaning from beneath where like you can take the blindfold off. You can see that he's just kind of holding on to his shoulder, and he goes telepathically again, "Yeah, pretty good. Good training tonight. Let's do this again next week, I think." And your training continues. Throughout the 50 days, I think that is pretty close to being. You don't quite have the martial feat that Proximus has just yet, but you notice that your perception is heightened when you were in, like, when you cannot see your
in true darkness.
Yes, your other senses pick up where your sight does leave off. So we will use that mechanically as well. A little bit more training, and we could potentially give the martial feat as well. I'm not sure how that would translate to spells and things like that, but I can take a look. Cool. Okay. All that is left then is Gossip with Ogden. Let me move
Can I rebrand that more as like story time with Ogden? Because as much as I do want to hear like Shacklebreak gossip and like all the juicy pirate stuff, like I also want like practical, like, you know, I mean, not that gossip can't be practical, but I also want the like Proximus was looking for like the dragon tales, and I want to hear him sing the song.
I was just gonna sing
Yeah.
I was just gonna. Dragon turtle tails,
Tails,
dragon
dragon
turtle
turtle
tails.
tails.
Now
I
it's time for
also
dragon
want
turtle
to talk
tails.
to Ogden about the council stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, I think everybody's chatting with Ogden, which is why I saved this for last because
Oh God, you're gonna have to drag Acacia there. She doesn't want to go, but she knows she should listen to this.
There's going to be good stories.
Just turn into a small animal and hang out somewhere.
Oh yeah.
You know what? That's a great idea. Who wants to cuddle a fluffy animal?
Me.
I would say if we do this in Scarlet's Captain Quarters, you can just hang out with Serona also.
Cool.
Can
Or
you turn
and
Jeffrey
into a
is-
little Jeffrey?
Beds.
I cannot turn into a little Jeffrey.
little Jeffrey's so mad. Like you're a little ferret or something, and Winnie's just like holding on, and little Jeffrey's
He's so
just
jelly.
like, very jelly. Yeah, little Jeffrey is very jellyfish.
He's
I
using all
will-
his red crayons.
Little jelly.
In that case, I will turn into a flitten, not a flitten. I know that's not what they're called. You know what they're called.
Tressum.
Tressum, thank you. But I will make sure that I get some mind links in there.
Has
later.
Acacia seen an El Mirage?
What?
The bunny unicorns? The unicorn
Yep, I think
bunnies?
so.
Oh, I love those things. They're so cute.
We almost had
Well,
them. It was between
don't
that and
think
Tressums.
I don't think Acacia has seen one.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
think those would have been on Soteria, right, Derek?
I think with like they get traded around.
Oh, okay.
I'd leave it up to you. I think it is reasonable enough that like enough people have them as pets in an
Okay.
oceanic world where animals get traded around. In fact, I'm pretty sure you all saw the Tressums, the Flittons saw an
Mhm.
El Mirage.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
in that case, I might have seen one, but it wouldn't be like
Yes.
the first thing I would turn into because why would I turn into that when I can fly?
Yeah, no, fair.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, you get to cuddle with Tressum Acacia.
Yeah, there was a brief moment where I was going to have Eula have a pet Almirage that she was going to eat in front of you, but I thought that was too dark. So
Off the first episode too, probably.
yeah, probably
Yeah.
she was just gonna eat it in front of Scarlet. Oh well.
I mean, Scarlet would be
missed-
used to it.
Yeah, missed opportunities. Okay, so let's
Maybe I'll groom Serona.
She would be really weirded out.
Okay, but this is not new. I've been a Tressum before.
But grooming Serona.
I can get the spots she can't reach.
Right between the shoulder blades.
I would ask. She's intelligent. I would ask her if she wants me to groom her.
okay.
Sometimes I feel like Serona's smarter than Marcus.
Probably.
Smarter than Proximus.
So
That
let's
negative
do-
modifier.
I think of what music I necessarily want behind this. Let's try this. Okay. You all approach Ogden when few weeks I think at this point have probably gone by. He has taken to, kind of mixing with the crew and tackling his duties pretty handily. This is definitely somebody who knows his way around a ship. You even see him there's at one point one of the younger sailors is having trouble with knots. He goes over and reties it, gives him the whole heel goes out of the hole, heel goes into the hole, comes back around, goes out of the hole again. It's a different side of him than I think any of you have necessarily seen before. There absolutely is a sort of gravitas that he carries himself with. He anytime Marcus goes past, he's mockingly deferential. Like, "Oh, officer on deck then. Oh, don't worry, sir. We're keeping it spick and span for you, sure are." But there's never he's not spitting at the feet or anything. It's just kind of like our roles were reversed, and he's not happy about it. The turns have tabled.
You can taste the salt in the air.
Yes. But like I said, he does the work. Little complaining.
Yeah, Scarlet is keeping in check to make sure that he don't feel like I'm getting the vibes from him that he would plan a coup, but just in case.
Yeah. And you have your officers who report to you. No signs of discontent.
I had my sneaky
Ogden
little
just seems to
Sharona
be
doing her little spy shit.
yeah, well, that's what you have first mates for, right? Is they know the crew. That's what you have your quartermasters for. Um
He's just being a
Ogden's
shit.
he's being a shit to Scarlet and Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like late at night, Marcus will come up and be like, he's still telling stories. Different ones this time. I'm not sure they're true, but the crew seems to enjoy them, so better than nothing. I mean, I don't know what I would have done in that situation. In fact, I was in a very similar situation, and I know what I did, and I'm not very proud of it. So I have a bit of a tough time sitting here in judgment of him. He saved his own neck. He was a bit of a coward about it, and he sold out a lot of people, but I don't believe he necessarily did so because he was being a coward. I think we were all lied to.
I think in the end, if he would have kept going against them, people would have followed in suit and then they would have died also. He didn't just save himself, and I realize that. I don't think Ogden is a bad person. I wouldn't have saved him, and we wouldn't have gone in there if I didn't think that he had some sort of purpose, and not for our own benefit. He didn't get where he was because he's a coward. Eula didn't hate him because he was a coward.
It's true. But he still is an opportunist. That's the part that concerns me.
True, but we do have to give in return. We're not giving miles, we're giving inches. Or whatever the hell we use in Damaris.
No, in this world, it's we don't believe in the metric system because I am confused and angry about it. Damn your kilometers. Yeah, in the sense of a D&D book, it's America. We're using inches and feet and all that shit. It's a 5-foot space, okay? Yeah, so the days go by, and who do you think would be the first to approach Ogden?
Winnie.
Winnie, yeah.
Winnie.
Winnie.
She doesn't have to go alone, like, if I don't
She doesn't. She doesn't. But it kind of felt like everybody's purposes were individual. So unless you all plan to go, be like, oh, it's Ogden Day. It's Ogden Day, mister.
Well,
go get the biggest turkey in the store.
I mean,
If
yes,
it's Winnie,
but, like... I was just gonna say, like, because Winnie... I mean, it makes sense to be there for, like, the Pirate Council conversation. Like, that's important for all of us to know. She wants to know about the dragons, and, like... Acacia is not talking to him, so it doesn't really...
I would probably be with you,
Mm-hmm.
but Tressum form, hold it in your arms, one little leg like flopping out of your, like hanging.
Yeah, so like, just to be clear, but yeah, socially and not like, interrogation-wise, I suppose it would make sense for it to be me.
You find Ogden on a particularly cloudy day, traveling just past the Lesser Keys there. He has leaned himself against the railing and is attempting to stuff and light a spark on his pipe. He's a little dirty. He's not wearing like his fine coat or anything. He's kind of like taken to the lesser sailor's clothes. Not that there's necessarily much of a change for a dragon turtleborn. So it's kind of like what you rescued him in. That's just kind of been worn and worn and worn and washed every now and then. But he will give a little beaky smile as he sees you approaching. Weddy, was it?
Yeah. Hi, it's me. We've met before.
Well,
Yeah, little Jeffrey's gonna just like hover over to him and like flick the tinderbox out for him for the like light a thing for him.
thank you, young man.
Yeah. Hi. It's good to see you settling in. Is everyone treating you okay?
And then some, I would say.
Oh, that's good.
What can I do for you?
I just thought it'd be nice to catch up, and like you said, like it would be nice to you know, you have a lot of experience with a lot of different things, and I just thought it would be interesting to talk to you about some of your stories and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to if you don't wanna.
Oh, far be it from me. Where I come from, a light of one's smoke is a favor in and of itself. So I was just making sure that I could give a favor back.
Yeah, well, little Jeffrey doesn't smoke, so I appreciate that. You're willing to,
Just trying to account for my debts sooner rather than later.
yeah.
So, stories then, is it?
Yeah. I mean, if you've got time, I've got whiskey. Do you want whiskey?
Much appreciated, but I don't partake during the day.
I also have,
Whatever else is in an alchemical jug. Little Jeffrey will just sort of like open his mouth like,
Mayo. There's mayo.
there is yeah, I figured olive oil? I don't, that seems weird.
Honey.
I'll pass. I'll pass
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
whatever that is.
we're working it out.
Were you just bored and in look of entertainment, or is there a particular story you'd like to hear?
oh gosh, I mean, yes and no. My head is all full of like language learning at this point, so I'm kind of just shaking things loose. But like, I'd love to know how you became a pirate, how you came to Shacklebreak, how you survived Eula, who was sort of historically not a fan of people. We saw your accomplishments in your vault, like your dragon situations that I know Proximus might have told us he wanted to learn about. Yeah. I don't know, what do you do for fun? Stuff. You're a new crew member, like, consider me the welcome wagon. We don't have a wagon, we just have the 2 ships and some longboats, but...
You're done. All right. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, for now.
Well, to address what I do for fun, I am I'm fond of card games, dice games, a bit of dragon chess, if you happen to have a set lying about. Other than that, I came from Terraconis, as many Dragonborn are known to do. My family, my clan in particular, came from upriver of the Horn, pretty far unriver, in service to one of the great dragons that no longer is so great, as is wont to happen in Terraconis. My clan was not one of the favoured clans. and I didn't see my life going in any particularly interesting fashion, which most in my clan were happy enough. In service to a great dragon is more than any can hope to ask for, so they thought. I disagreed. And so I found my way onto a ship where I thought I could be a little bit more service. And along the way, I discovered a much larger world, a world that I wanted to make my name in and be a part of. And I took that ship and I left my home. And then I took a lot more ships. And then I found a new home. And I met other family. And some of those family know how to stab you in the back right proper, but some of them will take a knife for you. And you don't know until you know. Anyway, last time I went back to Terraconis was to make them know my name. And I think I did so. Lost a lot of friends doing it. Met Eula sometime after that, in a card game. She'd been one of the queens of the council, you see. Hadn't attended ever in any of my time. It was about 30 years in at that point. Council doesn't meet that frequently. She'd always been one of the queens, her seat always empty, but met her at a card game all the same. She took a lot from me and showed a lot of disrespect. Someone who was her, as far as I knew then, equal. Anyway, I decided I would make a place that was safe from people like her. So I found an island that was run by chaos at the time, and I decided that I would bring a little bit of order to that chaos, but keep the freedom. And that was Shacklebreak for best part of 50 years. Until. Anyway, I apologize that story was very disjointed. You asked a lot of questions, and I do have to get back to work at some point, but I hope that answered some of them.
Yeah, no, that was a good overview. We'll go into more detail later, but
maybe write down the questions that you have next time so I can
I got them
go
all up
in
here.
order.
Yeah, I didn't know you
I
wanted
understand.
them in order.
I'm not up there.
You could be, I think. I think we could ask Acacia. We've kind of
Please
done
no.
that before. Okay.
Please.
I am hopeful that you are back on a wave, on a crest, instead of a trough.
Sea gives and she takes away.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Have good working.
All right, then. And he turns to face out to the sea, leans his elbows against it with his pipe. Who's next?
I feel like
Proximus will fly
Scarlet should
over.
be last. Because
Yeah.
I feel like the council's a little complicated.
Well, time-wise, do we want to do that first then?
Yeah, we are at about half an hour, so want to make sure that we do get the council thing. So let's make this more of an evening sort of deal. Ogden has wrapped up for the night. He's just about to go below decks when he does notice Scarlet and Marcus kind of standing at the helm, and he turns on his heel and walks up the top deck to you. Just wanted to check in with my captain and see if there's any other service I could provide to either her or her mate.
In the form of manual service, hard labor, no. But I need to know about this council.
I figured you might have questions about that. You yourself saying you killed one of the queens.
It was a group effort. Don't worry.
I wouldn't go saying that to the council. Not if you're expecting yourself to hold a seat. And you should be holding a seat. So
Why
I
don't
understand
we talk about this not out in the open?
Also, even though, like, Eula disrespected them super much, super bad.
I don't understand your question.
Like, us killing Eula would make us not good in their eyes?
There's only one seat open, Winnie. Thus, only one person can hold it.
Right. You killed a queen. It's not like queens are known to be kind.
Right.
Royalty. Pirate royalty at that. You're a bit of an ass if you're going to be one.
Ow.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have to work at that, Scarlet.
Do you want me to revert back to the old Scarlet?
No, I'm saying, like, your reputation probably precedes you, so you don't probably have to do a whole lot of, like... Anyway,
A bit of an abrasive nature will get you pretty far with these people. They don't respond well to niceties.
yeah, so, like, offing Eula's kind of like a gold star on the old resume, right?
I mean, it gets you a seat,
Is
I
that how
suppose.
resumes work? I'm kind of a nepo baby when you think about it.
Is resume one of those abyssal words? I'm not sure what...
I don't know.
Are you
does
talking about a
anyone
CV then?
Does anyone really speak abyssal around here? I don't think so. No one I've heard.
Where would you like to chat, Scarlet?
We can go to my quarters.
Is this a group chat or is this a what
It can be a group chat,
This can be a group chat.
Or
Yeah.
it could
Oh,
be,
yeah.
I thought
or
it
it could be
was-
mind
Okay.
link, and y'all can completely like eavesdrop on that.
No.
That seems messy. Like,
Acacia
It could
is
be a group
gonna
chat.
Winnie and Proximus
I'd
are already
be
over
there-
there,
I'd be
and
there for that,
Acacia,
yeah.
Acacia lives there.
like I think what this happening is like as y'all are going back to the cabin, Tressa and Acacia will jump up on Hopwell, fly up onto Marcus's shoulders for carrying because he's warm.
That's why Serrano likes him.
He just looks over and goes, please, please don't revert on my shoulder.
Surprise horse.
Surprise horse
horse.
again.
No clavicles!
Marcus gets the most withering of like, who do you think I am look?
Standing around your war table.
I mean, people
Ogden...
can sit.
Oh, Ogden, like, is the first to sit, and, like, whatever chair he thinks is yours,
No.
he's way too big for it. Oh, this is pretty nice. It's been a little while since I've seen it, but, not bad, not bad. Right then. The Pirate Council. An informal grouping of those amongst us who sail these endless seas with a higher level of respect, notoriety, and effectively power. We typically are those who call ourselves kings, queens, members of royalty, only amongst ourselves. Typically have a number of ships under our command, or at least a number of captains who show enough respect to us that they are under our command. Come from a variety of walks of life, variety of types of peoples. We are the compass rose that guides these many deeds outside of what you might find any laws for, I should say. I have held a seat for about 55 years. Eula held a seat long before me. Not that she ever sat in it. Otherwise, it has been a little bit of time since the last time that we met, and things have been a bit in turmoil when it comes to the greater pirate community. So it could be that some seats have changed hands. Could be some seats are left empty.
Can I interrupt and ask a question
please.
to Ogden?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can mind link all 5 of y'all to me. I do have enough spots for it. But I just want to like pop in and be like, so question. Oh God, I did have a question. The ADHD is killing me right now.
Wait, so you said 5, right? 5 can be in the mind link?
Yeah, so it's the 3 party members, Ogden and Marcus.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus me. I can reach up to 5 creatures.
Okay. I was like, oh no, we're gonna leave the himbo out again.
But no. Oh, so the question I had was, so what is the trigger for a meeting usually?
Typically, it has to be called by one of the members, or there's been one time in history that I know of that a meeting was not called but occurred as all members fled to the same spot. There's a council chamber, a hall of sorts, a sanctuary. No, that's not the right word. It's kind of tough to describe, really. There is
Safe house?
A haven?
there's a spot, and the spot is different every time. But it's a spot that we all know, that we can find. I'm sorry, it's. Part of this is stuff that I would be dethroned, not that I have a throne anymore in the first place, by just telling people who aren't on the council. But these are obscure times. Obscure rules must be in place. There is a spot that we all can find, that we all can go to, all 8 of us, in times of great turmoil on the seas. And this is shaping up to be one of those times.
And what?
But please.
And what did you meet about last time?
I was not part of it. That was before my time, a few hundred years in the past, as I understand it.
Wait, so you haven't been to a meeting?
I've been to a meeting.
Well,
it
that's
was
what I
it was
meant.
called. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. The last time that we all met was right around the last time that the Empire had sent out a great navy, and we had a new member at that time. The Empire was going to sail and try to take New Cavalon. Ended up meeting a big storm and not having anything to worry about in the first place. Number of issues besides that. Krakens, always a big frustration. Sights of the Leviathan, always a concern as well. But
Oh, I don't have that one on my card. You know the Kraken are acting up, right? What's the last news you heard before you went in? Did they keep you apprised, or was it sort of like a no info in, no info out sort of thing?
the Empire did not provide me with any information, no. The last thing I'm aware of was my island burning and a lot of those who I thought of as friends either turning against me or dying.
Oh. Do you, not to sound insensitive, do you know of any who didn't do either? Like, do you have any friends besides us?
I could certainly send out, but there were a number of captains who came to me in person when they turned. There's still some
Kind of them.
out there, I'm sure. But if they're anywhere, they're probably hiding. Or they've gone as far from the Empire as they can go.
I mean, who can blame them?
Not me.
Who else is there? Currently, last
Like I
you
s-
heard on the council?
I will
Okay,
get
yeah.
you some names on that.
Are any of them hot?
All of
Winnie.
them.
Winnie.
I just
Different time.
it was a statistical gathering thing.
Unfortunately,
Well, Jeffrey's doing his thesis.
Everyone
One
but
of my-
Ogden.
one of my larger concerns about the council is that some council members might have become privateers to the Empire.
Ugh.
So, if we do call a council meeting, they would know where it was. That is not to say that they, by all rights to hold their titles, they should maintain the secrecy of that. And the Haven, the spot, is a place of non-violence, which is honestly how most of the kings and queens survived as long as they did. But I can't guarantee that they would abide by those rules if they've... Hey, pirates stab each other in the back all the time, right? It's nothing new.
Who did you get to cast your, like... Well, I can't really talk about it, but if you wanted someone to cast something that they couldn't really talk about specifics for example, Proximus gets what I'm saying. Like, who would you go to? You killed them, didn't you?
Are you having a stroke, lass?
I assume
Like
we're
your
talking
vault.
about the vault.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about all the magical whatnots in the
Yeah.
vault. There are a number of mages and wizards and whatnots that I hired throughout the time. Never the same one for any individual spell. That was
Right.
the
but
combined efforts of something like over 70 magical practitioners.
like the not being able to talk about things. that-
Every one of them cursed.
Could we acquire someone? That sounds not like I mean it. Could we contract someone perhaps to do something similar with the council so that the Empire wouldn't know?
I mean, I suppose we could probably curse the council.
You sound thoughtful. You don't sound offended, so I'm putting that in the maybe column.
I'd put that pretty sufficiently in the maybe column. I'm not sure we would. So here's okay. If we are looking to make allies at the Pirates Council, cursing them, not the friendliest thing we could do.
Well, I mean, like,
Also makes it incredibly difficult for when they do go to pass along their lineage to the next pirate king or queen, and they find themselves unable to.
I feel like it would have to be
you
a
can't make it
one
specific. Yeah, like
Like if you're cursed, we could also talk about the cursed things together, but not everybody else.
it doesn't even have to be the whole thing necessarily. Just like, okay, like this meeting spot at this time.
I am not a
And,
wizard.
like-
I didn't cast those spells. Like I said,
Ooh,
they were
I
probably.
know a wizard.
Winnie, this seems like a lot more trouble than it's worth.
I would rather spend like a week
getting a wizard to curse some friends, like,
You
consensually?
need more than one wizard. You need like 15 wizards or
I
something
bet I
like
could
that.
get 15 wizards.
Witty,
Have you met me?
Right?
for
Have you
someone
met your
who's
Yes.
I just
so
acquired a new
nice.
wizard.
As
have
someone
a
who's so
question.
nice and friendly, you come up with the most disturbing ideas sometimes.
Unhinged.
How is it unhinged? You say, hey, for everyone's safety, would you mind bearing a little itty bitty curse that just prevents you from disclosing our meeting location for like 2 months? That seems reasonable.
My point is, how are you going to curse them from afar? We all have one of he like digs in his
I'm not
pouch.
a wizard, but I'll ask. I'll add that to my list of notes. Someone remind me to call Rollin later. I think
have a
little
great
Jack
question,
will
Because
pull
I
out
would
his
love to. I
notepad.
would love to have this in his wheelhouse, and for him to have to deal with it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm absolutely shunting this off to him. Like, hey, this is some weird garbage. Deal with it. Please.
It's one of these compasses, and he just holds up a very tarnished like brass compass, and it has a
Winnie
little
wants
like
it so badly.
like,
It's in
face
her
to it.
eyes.
and he flicks it open, and it's just spinning right now.
Can I
Council
borrow?
hasn't been called yet. Close to closed.
Can you call it?
I
Since
can.
you have. Okay.
I have a question, Ogden, and I do not mean this to be rude. Isn't being a privateer against being on the council? Aren't those conflicting things?
Being a pirate's being a pirate.
For the Empire?
Well, I mean, there's sort of like.
Do you think I'm any more morally sound than the Empire is?
Yeah.
I appreciate
Kind of,
that.
actually.
But at the same time, who's to say what's right or wrong? It's not for the council to say, and there's no overarching magical law. We can barely keep laws written as is.
Yeah,
Most
like
of
an
them-
alignment system? That'd be so
guess-
weird.
I guess
Most of
my
them, as one
question-
of our founders said, are guidelines.
I guess my question is more of where is the hierarchy? Are you would the other pirate kings and queens would they be part of the council? Would they be more loyal to that or to their privateer in the Empire?
Can we use Eula as an example here? She was on the council and she was only loyal to herself.
Absolutely. Which meant that no one was going to come to Eula if she called for aid. There's a few members of the council who hate my shiny ass. They wouldn't come if I came to call for aid. That's the thing. There's no single member of the council who's a friend to everyone. Most of us are frenemies at best.
Do you have
And-
a burn book?
Regina
was that?
George is a
Okay, so maybe not like doing something out of the goodness of their hearts, but like if you present them with a common enemy,
If
are
they're
they going to be
doing
like,
something.
yeah, like, are they going to be bullheaded about it, or are they going to be like, no,
Yes.
that makes sense to go out?
But if they're already privateers, and that's not the common enemy.
exactly.
so
and
we
if
kill them
no
and take
one
their place on the
is-
council.
And well, you might have to. In fact, because that is how they got their spot in the council in the first place.
So would that mean that Scarlet is actually part of the council now?
Yes, absolutely. Scarlet is technically a pirate queen.
Was
So-
before this information anyway, thanks to Proximus. But that's not the point.
But oh, did
Yes.
Eula have a compass?
I do not have a compass.
Did you? Sorry, Eula, EULA, not
Oh,
you.
Must have.
I mean, presumably, but
It's
the
probably
end-
sunken on her body
I'll
at
say,
the bottom
It
of
was
the ocean.
too big. We couldn't
at
do
the
a
end
real
of
good loop.
things,
Yeah.
did we? We did tell you, Ogden, that the Fen was Eula, right?
You did. You explained that the island that I stood on was actually the body of one of my...
She was big girl.
Absolutely.
Oh wait, it would even if the compass was on her body, it's not at the bottom of the ocean like I originally said. It's in your patron.
It's in the worm, Daddy.
Past patron.
Ooh.
Technically, should a compass ever be lost, it does take its place at the seat of that council member at
For the- Oh, man.
I guess we often call it the wreck. I suppose we could call it that. The wreck.
That's pretty good. I like that. That's good. That's good.
It's very descriptive.
Oh.
I like it. Yeah, that's good.
I don't
I
think
should've-
Proximus is smart enough to put anything together. You see
Has
his
Michael
eyes glaze
put
over.
something together? Oh.
No,
I was
absolutely
like real
not. I'm
excited
just
at like connecting dots.
the wreckage.
I guess the question is it worth possibly calling a meeting and someone being a privateer or with the Empire? Or do we just forget it altogether and not rely on people who could be potential allies?
I think it's worth investigating, but I also think like we don't have to just like jump into a meeting. Like we can do some reconnaissance first and like ask around about these people if they're like privateers by choice because they're like super gung-ho Empire, or if they're like Marcus here.
We can reach back out to Valerie at Phoenix Landing and ask if she can start looking into some of those who are currently on.
She's so pretty and smart.
Can't hear you give her compliments, Winnie.
I can't wait for Winnie to have a conversation with Valerie.
Oh,
We've
Steve
tried
having
it
a conversation
before.
With herself.
And I had a breakdown. It did not go well. Derek had to do it, and it was hilarious.
Just this is Valerie.
That is not
With
Valerie.
her vocal fry. This was
It is
Valerie.
now.
Valerie was
She
vocal
does
fry.
have massive vocal fry, that's true, but like...
She had vocal fry, but didn't sound like a diss.
Valley
Yeah.
No, she wasn't like a valley girl. She was just like
You're still leaning
Fry.
hard into it.
Loba.
Always with an upward inflection.
Being spy
What?
master changed her, okay?
So annoying.
That's not true at all.
We know who's running the relationship, though. It's Edgar.
100%.
That was not the relationship I was thinking of. Partner, yeah. I know what you mean, but also, yeah.
Edgar's in charge.
So, Ogden, since you didn't know that Eula had fell, does that mean the other council members might not know either?
Well, Ogden didn't know because he was locked away in his own vault. It's not
She was the
news
femme the
that-
whole time, though.
But it's people. Other people know Eula's dead.
I have to imagine word's gotten around a little bit at this point, especially from those who were in service.
A lot of her people that turned in the privateers found them. Still hate me. Might be
Outside
even
of-
more now.
Outside of those circles, though, it might be just fine.
Sure. I mean, no one liked Eula's pet. That's fine. I don't judge them for their choice. I probably wouldn't like me much either if I was in their position.
Eula didn't have anything to do with aboleths, right? Like, she was strictly Kraken Queen. Like, the aboleth isn't our fault.
I don't.
right?
I don't think. Which aboleth are you referring to?
Yeah,
Lord.
what are you all talking about in terms of an aboleth?
There is an aboleth somewhere causing trouble. Oh god. Oh no.
Aboleths
Wrong
are
notes.
terrifying.
I should use different pens for different seasons. There is an aboleth near the Narrows.
Yeah.
My notes make it look like it says abolithism, which just sounds like a religion, and I don't care for that at all.
I don't think there's any way that Winnie would know about Eula's like private doings.
Well, that would be a question for Scarlet.
I don't think
/
even
Ogden.
Scarlet would be like if Scarlet wasn't aware that Eula was a Kraken. A lot of Eula's like
No, but like,
dealings.
whoa. But like, she knew about the pet, right? Like that.
I
Eula was like,
was Eula's pet.
Yes.
Scarlet was Eula's pet, is what I was
Yes.
referencing then.
you were
Winnie's
not
talking
the
also
actual
about
favorite,
the
though. I'm talking about
the
Kraken.
Leviathan. No, yeah, Winnie's talking about the Kraken, Echmedadon,
Yeah.
who I would say so. Anytime that Eula would converse with the more monstrous things under her control, that was like when Scarlet would lean into the door and hear just like these horrendous kind of noises coming from within and like blue light streaming from under the door, but would not be part of that conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Good talk.
All right. Let's leave off here. I think Ogden's just gonna leave off with one point here. When it comes to the council, the one person that I would be most concerned about, oddly enough based on how you named your ship, is an elven woman named Mercy. She knows about all of you. She is in charge of the privateer navy, and by all rights is one of the sitting queens.
We've heard Mercy's name, right?
I think you have at this point. So we will leave off with that, and we can get some more potentially about Mercy next time. Let's wrap up here real quick, because Kaila has a hard out here in a minute. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Horizons Call. I am Derek, UCM pronouns. I've been your GM for this game. Kaila, we're going to skip all the stuff I normally say. If you would like to do your call, it's where we find more of your lovely self, and then if you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, Eva, I will leave my camera up for you just because I love you. Hi, hello. I have been Kaila. I am Kaila. I have been your Siren Storm Sorcerer, Scarlet Shores. You can find me on my socials at KMC, all spelled out. If you can't find me there, add an underscore and it will pop up. I am not doing much other than being here and running a Pride game.
I will say more about that. Thank you so much, Kaila. Fantastic. Okay, so again, thank you all for joining us for another episode of Horizons Call. Thank you for those of you who are, again, able to tip through Pally. It means a lot. Your viewership alone, though, is just, it's awesome. It's very, very much appreciated. Kaila already said something about our Pride game, so we're going to talk more about that here momentarily. But before all of that, I'll do channel stuff here during my stuff. But we have a couple of game runners here that are going to say some stuff about their games as well. So let's go ahead and go around. Mare, where can we find more of your lovely self?
Hey, hi, my name is Mare, use they, she pronouns, and I was your lovely centaur Acacia tonight. You can find me on Twitter and all other applicable social media at Archmedia Dice. I'm only doing this right now, but you can see me in a couple weeks facilitating. I am playing, but there's no GM, it's GMless. Facilitating a game of For the Queen as part of our charities games this next upcoming month. That's all I got. I don't know. I also keep waffling on wanting to run a new campaign, but I haven't done it I haven't taken the leap yet. Got two really good ideas, okay?
I know, I get it. Ideas in no time. Yes, For the Queen is a fantastic game. We already have some applicants for that. Just to say this right now, since we're talking about it, our applications did close last night at 9 p.m. Pacific time. but we did get 57 applicants. So if you did apply, very much appreciated. It's a lot of awesome folks in here. We are going to go through them. Eva and I are going to try to kind of clean up a lot of the stuff. I know she's already done an awesome job already. And we will have announcements out hopefully on Monday. But again, with almost 60 folks, it's going to take a little bit for us to we have to narrow it down. It's the toughest thing with all this stuff. There's a lot of really great people there. So yes, for those of you who applied for the Queen, you have an awesome game ahead of you. I can't wait. Thank you, Mayor. Michael, where can we? I'm gonna skip over Eva. Eva's got other stuff too. Michael, where can we find more of your lovely self?
Hi, fam. I'm Michael. I've been Proximus. You can find me at Michael Sandoval, Mikyl Sandoval, at all your social medias. But most likely, you'll find me more often on the Discord channel for Sword and Key, where I post everything, and including the art that I have been working on right here, as my head has been down all day. But yeah, so I'm working on some stuff here, and for another game that's coming up in June. So check us out then.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. Like Michael was saying, special thank you as always for all the artwork that he does for this channel, for this game, for many games. It is just absolutely the coolest thing. Can never show enough appreciation towards him. Please go and show as much support towards this. It's more than a hobby. I'm not even sure what to call it. This incredible skill that he displays, and the growth, and it's so awesome. Eva, I apologize for skipping you. I just figured it would be more cohesive since you're running a couple of games to talk about those and then go into the dates. That was my brain logic on you. It was not a slight.
Oh,
where can we find more of your lovely self?
That's fair. That makes sense. And I was like, I'm only running one game, but yes, no, I am running two, depending on how you count these things. Hi, hello, I am Eva Seriate. I have been I almost said Siren Storm Sorcerer, and that's not true at all. I've been your Sea Elf weenie. It's true. I am back running games on this channel. I will be June 2nd. I believe that's right, Michael? I don't think he said, but he will be joining us on screen for public access. We will be doing a foreshot of that. Very excited. Yes, horror set in 2004. Oh, it almost rhymes. I'll work on that.
2004.
2004. Oh man. If we were the Adventure Zone, that would have been the perfect tagline. Dang it.
I know.
And the art is just astronomically good for it. I can't. Man, arms. Am I right? So good. The other thing I am running, kind of horror, is Moonlight on Roseville Beach, and that is going to be a 3-shot, I believe. It better be horror related because I keep wanting to call it murder on Roseville Beach. So if you have seen that anywhere, I apologize. It is just my brain. But that is set in 1970s. So also very time period sideways. Yep. I think that's all I've got. Although I do want to mention that while applications have closed for our June Pride events, we do have at least one campaign that will be opening applications very soon. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know if I can say more.
What campaign is that? Oh, you don't have to. Okay.
Yeah. The game runner is not here with us at the moment, and I'm
Fair
not
enough.
sure if I can fully announce that. Plus, we don't have like a full date, but applications will be opening soon. So.
Okay. Well, message me because my brain's fuzzy and I don't remember what you're talking about. Okay. So thanks again for joining us for another episode of Horizons Call. It's been awesome. We've been saying, the applications for our June Pride Month closed last night, and we had so many great applicants. Like I said, we are going to go through those and notify folks either yes or no by Monday. We have a number of awesome games. Let's talk a little bit
I
about
hate to interrupt.
calendar
I just want to be
stuff.
very clear. For this application series, we had said notifying if yes by, I think, 9 p.m. Pacific time. Otherwise, it was assumed no, because there were going to be so many applicants.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will do our best, because I also know that
Also,
you know,
yeah.
it's nice to hear. We will. The no's might trickle, but I will do my best to personally send out no's, because I know it's nice to hear one way or another.
Yeah.
And we're a team of folks. Okay. So looking at the calendar, we have the return of Gate Night on Tuesday the 28th. That is the only video game we have streamed so far on this channel. We are playing Baldur's Gate 3, myself, Shadow, and LD. And this will be date. How are we? We're so far from we're still in Act 1. It's the 9th date. We were spending 3 hours per night. It's gonna take forever. It's a great game. On the 31st, you can always, I should say, let me start from the top. You can join. You can see all of our stuff. You can join our socials. You can join our Discord. You can see our discount codes and all of our philanthropic endeavors through beacons.ai/sword and key. Our socials are Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. Sword_and_key for all those three. You can, like I said, join our Discord there, where we have a bunch of cool stuff, including movie nights, which I was just about to reference. On the 31st, we were watching the 2006 Christina Ricci movie Penelope, also starring Reese Witherspoon and James McAvoy. And I've never seen it, but that's a wild cast. She's the pig nose, like romantic comedy fantasy thing. I don't know. It looks good. It was recommended by somebody in our community. So we typically do that every other Friday. Sword and Key movie nights every other Friday at 6 p.m. So that's the next one coming up. To again go back for just a second, we do have discount codes. If you are looking to get yourself a new set of dice, you can look at Greenleaf Geek Dice. Use code Sword and Key with underscores between the words for 10% off your purchase. If you are looking for custom minis, you can go to Eldritch Foundry and use code Sword and Key without the underscores for 10% off of your first purchase. And if you are looking for some awesome makeup palettes made by a queer-led team based in the UK who are all vegan for the brand, you can go to Wishbone Cosmetics and use code EVA, EVA, all caps, for 10% off your purchase there. Wishbone Cosmetics does a number of palettes that are consistent with themes like fantasy, like vampire romance, stuff that we like, right? So definitely check it out if you're looking to get some makeup in your life. We, like I said, have a number of charitable endeavors that we are currently supporting, including Palestine Children's Relief Fund, Canine Companions for Independence, and others. You can find all of those again, beacons.ai/sword and key. Back to the calendar. Up there goes Gravender. No. The Horizon School will be back on June 1st, again, 3 p.m. Pacific time. June 1st is, again, the start of the first day of LGBTQ Pride Month. So June's going to be busy. We have the next episode of Monster Crush released on the 2nd. Monster Crush is a podcast I do with LD. We talk about different cryptids, creatures, miscellaneous monsters. We had to skip, essentially, an episode release, so this will be episode 80. I think I'm going to do the Jackalope. I haven't done all the research yet, but I think that's what we're going to do. We also, that is the first day of the release of Public Access. Public Access Welcome Home? Yes. And that will run for 4 weeks. So every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So it's the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, 23rd. Gate Night is back every Tuesday, unless you hear otherwise. Horizon's Call will play every Saturday up until June 29th. At that point, we are taking just about a month break. We will be off until the 27th of July because one of us is having a massive life-changing event and spending, his life with a person that he cares about a lot. So we'll shout out more about that later. But congratulations to Mikyl for his impending nuptials. Let's see, other stuff. On the 9th of June at 3 p.m. Pacific time is the beginning of my mini campaign of Twilight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Twilight in the Gala of Good and Evil. I'm going to edit this right now. Which is a 5e mini campaign set in essentially the Feywild's version of a Met Gala, where there's fiends and angels and gods and just a group of hapless adventurers who also got an invite. The 10th at 4 p.m. Pacific time is the beginning of Moonlight on Roseville Beach that Eva will be running. That is Moonlight on Roseville Beach, Sweet on Jenny. That will run every week for 3 weeks. So the 10th, 17th, 24th. Let's see. Our next Sword and Key movie night after Penelope. So on the 14th, because it's Flag Day, we're watching 1917. Fantastic movie. I forgot the soldiers in it are British, and that's funny to me. So we're gonna watch a World War I movie. On the 15th, I am running at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Super Normal Wedding of the Centuries, which is a fantastic one-page game made by Ursa Dice about superheroes who have to keep their powers in check. Then For the Queen is going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific time on the 20th. That is Thursday. Kayla's Game of Monster of the Week is going to be at 6 p.m. Pacific time on the 21st. That is a Friday. And then LD is running a game of Tales of Equestria Summer Vacation, which is My Little Pony game. That is going to be 4 p.m. Pacific time on the 27th. That is also a Thursday. And then we'll end out the month with our monthly Ghibli movie. We were watching Ponyo. And that'll get us through June. We'll have more stuff coming out in July. Like Eva was saying, we will have more applications out in the near future. Hoping to have some games return as well, including Humblewood making a return, hopefully in July. So we'll have some more stuff about that as well. But yes, definitely more games coming, more chances to play with us, and more opportunities to see some lovely faces on this page. So thank you so much for supporting us, for hanging out. We are going to raid Stella Luna. Personally, a great person, and someone that I've had the pleasure to play with before. So go spread some positivity and some love, and we will see you all again Tuesday, if not sooner. Until that time, take care of yourselves, and thank you for all of us at Sword and Key. I forget what I typically say. I was trying to remember. Fair winds following seas, brave mariners. It came to me. Take care of yourselves.